My best friend's venomous words hit like a slap, and I'm done swallowing her poison. In that crowded cafe, with her fiance's jaw dropping, I stood up and unleashed a truth that could unravel their future. This isn't just a fight, it's a reckoning for years of buried resentment. The air in Brood Awakening was thick with the scent of roasted coffee and the hum of Saturday chatter. I sat across from Lila, my best friend since high school, and her fiance, Ethan, who was scrolling through his phone, oblivious to the storm brewing. Lila's eyes, sharp as ever, flicked toward me with that familiar glint, half teasing, half cruel. We'd been through everything together, late-night study sessions, heartbreak tears, and dreams of futures we swore we'd conquer side by side. But lately, her jabs had grown sharper, her laughter meaner, like she was carving pieces out of me to feel taller. "So, Emma," Lila said, stirring her latte with a smirk, "still chasing that dead-end writing dream? Or are you finally admitting you're just a barista with a laptop?" The words landed like a punch, and the cafe's noise seemed to fade. Ethan chuckled, not looking up, assuming it was just Lila's usual wit. But I felt the sting, the deliberate cut. She knew my writing was my soul, my late nights poring over manuscripts, my rejections piling up like battle scars. This wasn't a joke, it was a betrayal. I could have laughed it off, like always. I could have let her words dissolve into the clatter of cups and indie music. But something snapped. 10 years of her subtle digs, her way of dimming my light to brighten her own, rushed to the surface. I pushed my chair back, the screech cutting through the hum, and stood. "Lila," I said, my voice steady but burning, "you might want to tell Ethan here to start looking for a divorce lawyer, because if you tear down everyone else to feel good, he's next." Ethan's phone hit the table with a clatter. His eyes, wide and confused, darted between us. Lila's smirk froze, then twisted into something uglier, shock laced with fury. The cafe seemed to hold its breath, strangers' glances flickering our way. I didn't care. This wasn't about them. It was about me, finally refusing to be her punching bag. Lila and I met in sophomore English, bonding over dog-eared novels and shared secrets. She was the spark bold, charismatic, the girl who could charm a room or burn it down. I was quieter, the dreamer, content to cheer her on. But over the years, her shine started to blind me. She'd mock my ambitions in front of others, call my stories cute with a patronizing tilt, or forget to invite me to group outings. I'd shrug it off, telling myself that's just Lila brash, but loyal. Except loyalty doesn't cut you down in a crowded cafe. Ethan, sweet and unassuming, was her latest conquest. They'd been engaged for 6 months, planning a spring wedding. He adored her, blind to the way she wielded her charm like a weapon. I liked Ethan. He was kind, steady, the kind of guy who deserved better than Lila's games. Maybe that's why her dig that day felt like the final straw. It wasn't just about me anymore. "You're being dramatic, Emma," Lila said, her voice low, like she could still control the narrative. "Sit down. You're embarrassing yourself." But her eyes betrayed her nervous. "Caught." Ethan leaned forward, his voice soft but firm. "What's she talking about? Lila?" I didn't sit. I leaned in, my hands gripping the table's edge. "Ask her, Ethan. Ask her why she needs to make everyone else small to feel big. Ask her how many times she's lied to you about where she's been, who she's with. Or didn't you notice her flirting with your coworker at that party last month?" The color drained from Lila's face. Ethan's brow furrowed, his gaze shifting to her. "Lila," he said, his voice cracking. She opened her mouth, but no words came. For once, her quick tongue failed her. I didn't plan to go there, to spill her secrets like that. But the truth had a momentum of its own, and I was tired of carrying it alone. Let's rewind. A month ago, at Ethan's company barbecue, I saw Lila with his coworker, Nate. They were by the drinks table, her hand lingering on his arm, her laugh too intimate. I'd brushed it off then, convincing myself it was harmless. Lila was a flirt, it was her brand. But later, when Ethan asked where she'd been, she lied without blinking. just catching up with some girlfriends. I'd held my tongue, not wanting to stir drama, but now, in this cafe, with her latest jab still stinging, I couldn't hold it anymore. Emma, you're lying. Layla spat, her voice rising. You're jealous. You've always been jealous. Her accusation hung in the air, and for a moment, I doubted myself. Was I? Had I let resentment twist my view of her? But then I remembered the countless times she'd undermined me my job, my writing, my quiet life while parading her own successes. No, this wasn't jealousy. This was clarity. Ethan's eyes were on me now, searching. Is this true? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. I nodded, my throat tight. I saw her. Ethan. I didn't want to say anything, but she's not who you think she is. Lila slammed her hand on the table, her engagement ring glinting. You're pathetic, she hissed. You think you're some saint, you're just a nobody with a grudge? Her words should have hurt, but they didn't. Not anymore. I'd spent years absorbing her barbs, believing I deserved them because I wasn't as bold, as shiny, as her. But standing there, with Ethan's shocked face and Lila's unraveling composure, I realized I didn't need her approval. I never did. The cafe was silent now, all eyes on us. I grabbed my bag, my heart pounding but light, like I'd shed a weight I didn't know I carried. Ethan, I said, meeting his gaze, you deserve someone who lifts you up, not someone who tears others down. Good luck. I turned to Lila, my voice calm. And Lila, I'm done being your doormat. I walked out, the bell above the door chiming as it closed behind me. The cool autumn air hit my face, and I breathed deep, feeling free for the first time in years. Behind me, I heard Lila's voice, shrill and defensive, trying to salvage her story. I didn't look back. Days later, Ethan texted me. He was quiet, raw, asking to meet. Over coffee, ironic. I know he told me he'd confronted Lila. She'd admitted to the flirting, downplayed it, but the cracks in her story widened. He was rethinking everything, including the wedding. I didn't see it, he said, staring into his cup. How did I not see it? I didn't have an answer, just a hand on his shoulder. Sometimes, love blinds you until someone holds up a mirror. As for Lila, she didn't call. No apologies, no rage, just silence. Mutual friends told me she was spinning the story, painting me as the villain. Some believed her, others didn't. I let it go. The truth has a way of settling, like dust after a storm. Looking back, I don't regret standing up that day. It wasn't about revenge, it was about reclaiming my voice. Lila's dig was just the spark, but the fire had been building for years. I learned that friendship isn't about enduring pain to keep the peace. It's about mutual respect, about lifting each other up. And when someone tries to dim your light, you don't just sit there, you shine brighter. This story isn't just mine. It's for anyone who's felt small, who's swallowed hurt to keep a friend, who's wondered if standing up is worth the fallout. It is. Your voice matters. Your worth isn't tied to someone else's need to feel superior. So, what do you think? Was I right to call Lila out, or did I go too far? Share your thoughts. Where do you draw the line between loyalty and self-respect? En 20